Hey, welcome to Vice Grip Garage. When am I going to do another big block? Well, I'm going to hit a bird with 2 stones today. And hey, this is looking pretty good. We got glass in it. I'm seeing tires. We got tires. Here's the ride home. Derek Bieri, the face behind Vice Grip Garage, is undoubtedly a household name in the restoration world, known for his sense of humor, do-it-yourself tips, and love for all classic cars. Derek's videos have drawn in millions of viewers who enjoy watching him bring old and forgotten cars back on the road. However, Derek's story goes beyond just fixing cars and entertaining fans with humor. His journey from a corporate life to becoming a reckoning force in the automobile industry is filled with challenges and surprising moments. If you are wondering how Derek managed to pull through working a 9-to-5 job to building a successful online presence, say no more. Join us as we dive into what really happened to Derek Bieri from Vice Grip Garage, talking about what happened to Derek without mentioning how he transitioned from being a military personnel to embracing civilian life would be awkward. So what's the backstory like? Before Vice Grip Garage became a huge success, Derek was living a completely different life, working in the corporate worlds. But not many people know that Derek was once in the military, where he served his nation for some years before he called it quit. His major reason for joining the military is what many people know him for today: freedom. He deeply believed in freedom, justice, and democracy, and felt the need to protect those values with all his might. Also, growing up and seeing Vezinta had served and sacrificed for the country inspired him to do the same. Additionally, Derek has a knack for adventure, and the military was the perfect place to go. After making up his mind, he was left with which of the armed forces to join, as he had options to join the Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Army. Without hesitation, Derek settled for the Army, since their wide range of career options focuses on teamwork and opportunities for growth. But enlisting in the Army isn't a bed of roses. It comes with its challenges. One of such that Derek had to go through was a tough selection process that included physical and medical tests, aptitude exams, and interviews. After completing the strenuous training, Derek was evaluated for his military occupational specialty, and thanks to his strong academic background in technology, he was assigned the role of information technology specialist. His job revolves around system security, network management, and troubleshooting, ensuring that the military communications run smoothly and securely. As an entry-level officer, Derek knew his work was crucial in supporting the mission and keeping operations running without a glitch, so he quickly learned the ropes, preparing himself for the real challenges that awaited him in the military. Settling into the force wasn't easy for Derek. The long work hours and time spent away from the family were all hard to get used to, but Derek pulled through. He should for some time before deciding to embrace civilian life, and with that came its own set of struggles. For someone who was used to being organized, transitioning back to a civilian life might be arduous. However, Derek used his military expertise to scale through his struggles. His leadership experience, discipline, and problem-solving skills were valuable in many professional roles, so it wasn't hard for him to get a job in the private sector. With his vast experience as an IT officer, he wasn't just employed as a casual worker. He held C-level positions, which presented him with opportunities to run businesses and handle major responsibilities. His corporate work basically involved overseeing operations, making strategic plans, and managing teams. Occupying a senior role means he has to solve complex problems and balanced budgets. One of Derek's main skills was being able to think outside the box and come up with solutions for any problems his company faces. This skill helped him in the business world and would later come in handy when he kick-started a Vice Grip Garage. Additionally, Derek served as a president and owner of multiple businesses, showing that he still had that leadership and strategy spirit from the military in him. However, despite his success, he felt unfulfilled. Donning a 3-piece suit with Oxford shoes for 8 hours or more left him feeling disconnected from his passion. He often found himself thinking more about cars than his corporate job's tight schedules and demands. With this, he started questioning whether the comfort and security of his job was worth giving up his passion for overtime. Derek realized he wanted more than just waking up as early as 5 a.m. to avoid queries. He craved freedom, the satisfaction of creating something with his own hands and sharing the joyful experience with others. Of course, Derek knew that leaving behind the stability of a high-level COR job wouldn't be an easy choice. He knew it meant stepping away from a world where he was successful and respected, but he was determined, believing that his passion for cars could lead to something even greater than what his job gives him. With that, he decided to trade his suit and tying for a coverall and wrench, ready to start a whole new chapter in life. His bold decision, combined with his love for car restoration, led to the creation of Vice Grip Garage. Duck's journey to starting Vice Grip Garage began With his childhood passion for classic cars and desire to share it with others, the early days of Vice Group Garage were anything but easy. Starting from scratch meant working long hours, as he was doing in his previous corporate job, balancing finances and facing lots of uncertainty with his audience, but he started anyway. He began with the most basic equipment and minimal resources. In fact, his first video was filmed using a broken iPhone taped to a side of his small garage door and without prior knowledge in video production. He had to learn on the go. This meant Derek spends long hours on not just restorations, but also in figuring out how to record and edit videos for his audience. Despite the tedious tasks, his passion kept him going. Balancing his newly found job with family demands was a struggle. Derek and his wife Jessica, who also worked a full-time job, spent most of their evenings filming. Being human, there were times when he doubted if all his hard work would pay off, but his wife's support and belief in his dreams kept him motivated. His corporate job experience also came in handy for him as he started to build his YouTube channel. He knew to organize, plan strategically, and make important decisions that helped grow his channel. His first set of videos featured him working on old forgotten cars that were not high-end cars seen in other TV shows, but everyday classics that people could relate to. Derek's honest and unique approach to restoration set him apart from others in the field. While other restorers mostly show the positive side of their restorations, Derek, on the other hand, wasn't afraid to show the messy side of his work, and the moment things don't go as planned, he comes up with a creative solution to combat the problem. As more videos were posted, Vice Grip Garage started to build a following thanks to Derek's sense of humor and budget-friendly ways of fixing cars. Instead of using expensive spare parts, he settles for the affordable parts, ultimately making his content relatable to both gearheads and laymen. Another important factor that sets Derek apart from others is his way of making viewers feel like they're learning from a friend. He starts all his videos with a funny warning: "I'm an idiot, do what I do at your own risk, don't take my advice unless you're truly desperate." This isn't necessarily educational, it's more for entertainment, but many of his 2.07 million subscribers might disagree. They enjoy watching him take cars that hadn't been on the road for years and breathing life back into them using basic tools and a lot of passion. You see, transitioning from a high-paying corporate job to being a full-time YouTuber isn't as easy as what many say, but it was a move Derek never regresses. First, it allowed him to follow his childhood passion, sharing it on a global platform. Second, it allowed him to focus more on his family, talking about family. Derek's journey on Vice Group Garage wasn't a solo effort. His wife Jessica also played an important role. Derek and his wife's love story go back to their 6th grade days. They met through some mutual friends and connected with each other. Although Jessica gave Derek a hard pass at first, as time went on, Jessica was drawn to Derek's sense of humor. They eventually clicked over their shared interests. Their relationship blossomed over time, and they tied the knot some years later to strengthen their bond as a couple. They've shared many ups and downs in life, from building a happy family with 3 kids to working side by side on Vice Grip Garage. Prior to joining her husband at the garage full-time, Jessica also worked as a full-time teacher. She undoubtedly loved her job and was dedicated to helping her students, but as her husband's business grew, she knew the business needed all the support it could get. Managing a YouTube channel coupled with filming, editing, and restoring cars took a lot of Derek's time. Jessica saw this and decided it was time to step in and do her part whilst Vice Grip Garage was starting. So we were working non-stop, and then I would film in the evenings, late nights, weekends, where you just was like, okay, enough's enough, I need to step in and help. I'm going to quit my teaching job, which I know is that was hard. It was hard for you to do. She eventually quit a teaching job and joined her husband on Vice Grip Garage. In the garage, Jessica takes on many roles, mostly behind the camera, even though she does appear on screen sometimes. Her jobbing includes managing schedules, organizing filming days, handling emails, merchandise sales, and making sure everything runs smoothly so everything can focus on restorations. Quitting a job was a big sacrifice, but it allowed the couple to grow their business into a world-recognized brand. Derek often said that without Jessica to hand him a to-do list, he would be lost and might be less productive for that day. Jessica's support didn't just come through her work on the channel. She's been Derek's biggest cheerleader since the very first day he shot the 1969 Camaro Z28 restoration video. Today, his first video on the channel featuring the 69 Camaro has garnered more than 1 million views, and so far Vice Grip Garage has grown from being a regular car restoration channel to a business venture. According to a verified source, Vice Captain Garage has raked in between $240,000 to $1.46 million since its creation, proof that Derek has turned his passion for putting abandoned cars back on the road into a cash flow. But that's not all. Vice Group Garage also runs a merchandise store where fans and lovers can visit their official website to order a variety of products like hoodies, hats, stickers, and all car care products. These merch sales help boost his income and also give his business the publicity and needs aside from the merchandise sales partnership. And sponsorship with car brands also plays a huge role on Derek's income. With over 2 million subscribers, 652 million views, Vice Grip Garage has definitely gained global recognition. His partnership with car brands and other auto restorers includes paid promotions, adding to his already fat bank account. And just like he did on YouTube, Derek channeled his efforts to other social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to maximize profits and also connect with his fans. As a car collector, Derek's garage boasts over 300 classic vehicles, some of which he drives and some he preserves due to their sentimental value. But one major source of income for him is car flipping. He restores the classic car without breaking the bank and sells it at an affordable rate to his audiences. This doesn't just bring in money for him, but also helps him showcase his restoration skills, bringing abandoned cars back to life. Additionally, Derek, being a fan favorite, attends car shows, public events, and fan meetups where he links up with his audience in real time. These events allow him to meet up with like-minded people and promote his brands, ultimately boosting his income through merchandise sales and paid speaking sessions. All his income streams allegedly generate more than $500,000 per annum, showcasing how Derek successfully transitioned from a 9-to-5 job to being a YouTube sensation. Even though the success story began with Vice Grip Garage, it doesn't end there. Running a popular YouTube channel doesn't just fetch Derek money, it's also opened up numerous opportunities for him. One of such is him appearing on other TV shows. A notable mention is Roadworthy Rescues, a show where he finds old abandoned cars and restores them. Of course, the journey to landing this show started with the growth of Vice Grip Garage, which caught the attention of producers and Motor Trend. The producers recognized his relatable style and his dedication to redeeming old abandoned cars as a perfect fit for their TV show, and with that, Roadworthy Rescues was born. Derek's role on Roadworthy Rescues is similar to what he does on Vice Grip Garage, but with a larger budget and more resources. He goes out to find neglected cars around the country that many people would think are beyond saving. He then revives them, putting them back on the gravel, proving that the rusty cars deserve a second chance. With a profound success both on YouTube and television, it's only normal to want to know Derek's actual net worth and what he spends his money on. As of 2024, Derek's smart business choices, engaging content, and hard work have earned him an estimated net worth ranging between $1 million to $5 million. Despite his wealth, Derek's lifestyle isn't flashy in the typical sense. In fact, he only spends money on family and classic cars that are meant to feature on his channel. Also, he invests a lot on tools and equipment needed in his garage. With these, he improves the quality of his restorations, making his job easier. When it comes to his family life, Derek focuses on comfort rather than extra and luxury. He and Jessica chose a lifestyle that supports their family's needs, while still allowing room for things that make them happy. For instance, Derek's garage is a vital part of their home setup, as it was where all the magic happens and the bedrock of their cash flow, so they make sure to upgrade it from time to time away from work. Derek and Jessica also use their wealth to foster the family's relationship. The kids cherish road trips, outdoor events, and car shows, so they make sure to satisfy their cravings without breaking the bank. One thing about Derek is that he makes a reasonable amount of money to live large, but he prefers to diversify his portfolio rather than spend on frivolities. Due to that, Derek moved his family from Minnesota to Tennessee just to save up money. He discovered that the two locations differed in terms of weather and living expenses. The latter was a better option for him and his family, because the state doesn't tax residents on their income. Also, it's a great state to live in when it comes to mortgages, insurances, and utility bills. However, the former is down to economics, as it's 4.7% more expensive than Tennessee, but that wasn't the only reason for his relocation. His decision was influenced by several other factors, and one of the factors is his kids. Derek, originally from North Dakota, is used to a quiet life, and as his channel grew, the need for a quiet life of the kids became essential. Additionally, Derek revealed that it was getting inconvenient for his kids to drive a snowmobile on his property in Minnesota without the neighbors involving the cops. He wanted them to experience the kind of farm life he experienced when he was growing up. Another factor for moving to Tennessee is his work. Many might think producing content is easy work, as he simplifies in all his videos, but the truth is it's time-consuming. Driving around the country to find abandoned classic cars, working on them, and then driving it back to his garage took so much time away from his family. Moving to Tennessee saved him all this stress, as it was a better location to find cars, and also save him those long hours driving.